It's Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the very first episode of the Velma series on HBO Max. This is a parody of Scooby-Doo. It's an adult version of these characters, minus Scooby-Doo, which is kind of interesting. Um, a lot of people have been losing their mind about this show and just been raging and just been outraged. And you gotta just relax and understand that this is a parody, you know what I'm saying? And this is not really meant to be taken serious. It's just kind of giving you a different spin on these characters, which I can understand. People want to see the classic Scooby-Doo characters, but we really haven't got those iterations in a very long time. Out of all the gajillion versions of Scooby-Doo that they've made, they even collabed with like WWE characters. They still haven't gotten none of that shit right in so long, but I like this first episode. It kind of surprised me on how much backstory they kind of give Velma. So I do like that this is a more violent and more mature version of these characters. Like, you have Velma as the main character. She is pretty much narrating throughout the whole entire episode, mostly. And I like that the reason why she gets into mysteries is because of her mother. You know what I'm saying? And there's this whole thing about her mom disappearing, but ultimately something else ends up happening where she gets the truth revealed to her about her mom. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I liked how this starts off. You kind of have Velma and Daphne pretty much butting heads, where they used to be best friends, but for some odd reason, ever since they got into like high school, they've been just butting heads. And Daphne is very much the popular it girl. She's like the Regina George. Fred in this is very much a douchebag. I found Fred's character to be interesting. You know, you either get two things with Fred. He's either a complete moron or he's just a complete douchebag. So, you know, they got that right. Norville, or aka Shaggy. Shaggy is very different. I thought a lot of people were kind of worried about his character, saying like, oh, they race swapped his character. But I like the kind of twist with his character where he's very anti-drugs and stuff like that. A little on the nose, but I wouldn't rule out that a Scoob wouldn't pop up as like a puppy or something in this, because they let it be known that this is the origins of everything. So like, the gang's not all together. They're just like, this is just a different interpretation of these characters and the origin of these characters. Or maybe they left Scoob out just because of branding. They don't want to kind of have Scooby-Doo involved in nothing adult-like, which is understandable as well. Not too, you know what I'm saying, bothered by that, but a lot of people aren't going to tune in just because Scooby-Doo is not front and center in this series. But there are Scooby-Doo hints. Like, you do see like the creeper mask, which is really interesting. But the whole story in this first episode, and I think the whole story of this first season, is very interesting because Velma is trying to get back into solving mysteries. And also, she has this interesting ability of seeing the dead and whatnot. And I like how that's really animated and stuff. I think this is a really well animated show. I really like the bright, vivid colors, the trippiness whenever she ends up seeing a ghost or something kind of talking to her, and you know what I'm saying? And they tease a lot of things, but pretty much she has to solve the case of one of her classmates dying, named Brenda. But also she's trying to figure out where her mom went, and I think that's going to be a thing as well. And I also like in this that Shaggy, or Norville, actually has a thing for Velma, but she pretty much like kind of friend zones him. So that's interesting. A lot of nudity, I wasn't expect a lot of booty. A lot of booty was in this first episode. But yeah, like I said, I would say definitely give this a shot. You know, if it's not up your alley, then, you know, don't watch the rest. I would say kind of give it a try. Some of the humor is okay. Some of it definitely does not like hit with me. I just like kind of like the overall story that they're planting with Velma, and kind of makes her a more interesting character, even though this is a complete parody and it's just kind of its own thing, which I'm okay with. You know, it's better not to be like, oh, Scooby-Doo, a Velma story. You know what I'm saying? Just call it Velma. You know, give her her own kind of like story. Do whatever you want with these characters. You know, but a lot of people aren't going to give this a chance. They'll just bash it. Just to bash it. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's just the first episode, but I kind of liked it, to be honest. The animation, like I said, was really clean. That's probably my favorite part. Some of the twists and with some of these characters are interesting. The tone isn't too cringy, in my opinion. Some jokes work, some don't. You know, but definitely go check it out. If you got HBO Max, if you like the first episode, check out the second one. I'll probably end up checking out the second episode later on today. But yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on the first episode. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out.